What's going on, everyone? So earlier today, I talked about Buddy Hield officially being available via trade. The Indiana Pacers weren't able to work on an extension with Buddy Hield, and they don't want to lose him for nothing, right? He's on the final year of his contract, and they would like to get something, even if it's a second round pick, rather than losing him for nothing. And many people in Lakers Nation really want to see the Lakers go and acquire Buddy Hield. And it makes a lot of sense, right? He is a dead-eye shooter that would fit in with this roster seamlessly. That's coming off of almost 43% from three and 17 points per game. Just shy. It was like 16.8 points. And look, this is a guy that the Lakers have pretty much had two separate times now. So Rob Pelinka had a deal done. Paperwork getting filed and everything with Sacramento to go and acquire Buddy Hield. And then LeBron James and Anthony Davis wanted Russell Westbrook. So the Lakers pivoted, go get Russell Westbrook. That doesn't work out. And then before the season last season, we had a deal finalized for Buddy Hield and Myles Turner for Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks. And Jeannie Buss ended up vetoing it and said no. And so we failed to get Buddy Hield twice now. Now, here's the thing. The idea of us trading for Buddy Hield right now isn't going to happen. The only way feasibly we could really trade for Buddy Hield would be to do a D'Lo for Buddy swap. And D'Lo isn't available to trade for a while. And it is very likely that some other contender is going to try to acquire Buddy Hield. Now, there is the possibility that that doesn't happen, right? Does Buddy Hield want to go to that team? Right? Because there are a couple obstacles. One is he's a free agent. So how many teams are going to go and trade for him and give up assets knowing he may end up leaving them after this year? The only way that you could see that happening is if a team was able to unload salary. But then the Indiana Pacers would have to want and need said players. Now, there are teams like the Clippers who have some expiring contracts that maybe they could go make a play and go get Buddy Hield and give up like a second round pick or something like that. So there are options out there. But the idea of the Lakers going and trading for Buddy Hield, I wouldn't hold my breath on at all. I wouldn't, because it's going to be a while before we can do that. It's very likely he's off the table by then. Best case scenario would be a team like San Antonio, who is rumored for him, go and try to acquire him and trade for him to, whatever, unload some salary or something like that, or do something along those lines. Or a team goes and unload some players that are on longer term deals that maybe make sense for Indiana. And then Buddy Hield's like, I don't want to play for this team because, you're not going to be very good this year. And maybe they buy him out. Because I don't see Indiana buying him out because he is still too valuable, and they are at least trying to be competitive and a playoff team. But maybe he ends up going to a team that is, tanking and just wants to unload some guys and clear up some salary, and it would make sense to let him go to a contender. We see that happen pretty much every year. So that's what I would hold my breath on, more so than a trade. But maybe a trade doesn't get worked out, and if the Lakers can work out a deal, I don't hate the idea of Buddy Hield, but the idea of trading Buddy Hield for D'Lo makes zero sense because D'Lo is a better player and more dynamic. He provides the same level of shooting, scored more points last year with the Lakers, but also can be a 3-level scorer and a guy that can make plays and set up for others. He can play the 2 guard, he can play the point guard, he played great off the ball, right? Buddy Hield, we have no idea how he would perform in the playoffs. A lot of people talk about Buddy Hield and, D'Lo and his lackluster performance in the playoffs. He at least saved us on numerous occasions, and we don't even get to the Western Conference Finals if it wasn't for D'Lo. Buddy Hield, we have zero knowledge of how he's going to perform, and is he actually going to show up, right? That becomes a big problem. So if the Lakers could potentially go and work out some deal and get some assets, sure, right? If you could do D'Lo and some picks, cool, right? But the only way I would do D'Lo and maybe give up some assets is if the Indiana Pacers, it isn't going the way that they want, and we can get Buddy Hield and Myles Turner, right? Because look, the Lakers have Anthony Davis locked up long term. The Lakers want to play Anthony Davis at power forward because he wants to play power forward. Right now, we are missing a sizable center. If you can go get Buddy Hield, and on top of that, get Myles Turner, which again, this deal was already locked up and done. If you add Buddy Hield and Myles Turner to this Lakers roster for, say, I don't know, D'Lo and whomever, right? I mean, even if you had to give up Rui, I would probably do D'Lo and Rui for Myles Turner and Buddy Hield, just because one, both players would fit. Two, you have your front court locked up for the future alongside with Jared Vanderbilt. Good luck scoring. I mean, you have two of the best shot blockers in the league, the best defensive player in the entire league. You have two bigs that can stretch the floor, and you have Jared Vanderbilt, who's the best on-ball defender in the league. And Myles Turner is also 27 years old, right? He's 6'11", 7'4" wingspan. He's got the size that we need and looking for. And you'd still have Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood. You're set. If you're the Lakers, you're set. Good luck beating this team. If the Lakers get Buddy Hield and Myles Turner for D'Lo and say Rui, and again, I'm not saying it has to be Rui, it could be somebody else, but if you can go and get these two guys and add it to the roster that you have, I don't see a team beating this. I don't see the Lakers losing. And Myles Turner is making $20 million this year, and he makes $19 million next year. So you could do D'Lo and Rui and swap with the, it's not 100, it's like 110% rule or whatever now. They changed it with the new CBA. So, but point is, you could go do that. You'd have him locked up for 2 years when his contract would expire with LeBron, which is perfect. So you basically would have all this salary cap, and you could re-sign Myles Turner long-term. You could even re-sign Buddy Hield long-term. You have bird rights on both players. I mean, to me, that'd be a no-brainer, right? Like, if you could do that, the Lakers are the best team in the league, bar none. You're talking about a starting five of like LeBron, Reeves, Buddy Hield, Anthony Davis, and Myles Turner. Or you could have Buddy Hield come off the bench and go like Reeves, LeBron, Vando, AD, and Myles Turner. Again, good luck trying to score. Like, it would give you so much flexibility. You have the size, you have the... It makes sense at that point. But D'Lo for Buddy Hield straight up, it doesn't make sense to me. But again, if it's not working the way that they want it to work, and the Lakers are like, hey, we'll take Buddy Hield and we'll give you D'Lo and whatever, Rui or whatever, and now you have Halliburton and Rui and all the other guys that you got, all the young pieces you have, and now you can kind of reset for the future, and we'll throw in a first or something, right? A protected first, heavily protected first, that, 2029 first or whatever, protected. I don't see them getting a better deal than that. And to me, that would put the Lakers over the top. Because, again, you're talking about Reeves, LeBron, AD, Myles Turner, Buddy Hield, Gabe Vincent, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, Max Christie. It's just, this roster would be ridiculous. At that point, now you have legit shooting, you have legit... you have everything. Again, it would suck to see Rui go, but at that point, you have your front court locked up for the next 5 years, right? Your front court of now going forward is Anthony Davis at the power forward, Myles Turner at the center position, and Jared Vanderbilt at the small forward position. And then you have Austin Reeves, who could be your point guard, and then hopefully Max Christie evolves into something, or you sign that new star post LeBron James, right? That would be your centerpiece for the future. So going and getting Myles Turner without trading Rui, how long is Rui going to be willing to come off the bench? And you'd have to trade multiple guys, right? Because you can't trade Jared Vanderbilt this year. So, and AD and Myles Turner give you that scoring output, give you that stretch, give you the defense. Right now, Anthony Davis at the 4 is much better than Rui would ever be at the 4, right? And Myles Turner at the 5 gives you everything you need at the 5. And then Jared Vanderbilt, hopefully he continues to improve on his three-point shot and can just be serviceable. And now you got the defense. Now you got the best defensive front court in the entire league. You have your entire front court is ability to stretch the floor. You have Austin Reeves, who can basically be your point guard, or if you go get a point guard, he could be your shooting guard, right? Maybe you do go get a Trae Young or something like that at that point, right? Maybe you do work something like that out. I don't know. But my point is, you're set. You are in as good of a position as you could be. You're the best team in the league. If the Lakers could pull that off, I would be all for that. I'd be jumping for joy. And, this isn't to necessarily re-spark the Buddy Hield and Myles Turner rumors. And I don't even know if Indiana would trade Myles Turner this year because he is under contract another season after this year. So if they were going to trade him, they might wait till next year. But, if the Lakers can be like, hey, you haven't been able to find a deal for Buddy Hield, right? How much do you like Rui and D'Lo? D'Lo is a better player than Buddy Hield is, and now you have Halliburton and D'Lo as your backcourt with Rui Hachimura, right? It's not terrible, and yes, you're losing Myles Turner, but probably losing him when his contract's up anyway. So at least you get something for him. We'll give you Rui, who's a nice piece for the future. You got D'Lo, who you can keep long term, or you can let him go and free up the cap space. And we'll even throw in a first round pick protected, top 5 or top 10 protected, whatever. And there you go. Because again, 2029, you're not worried about that. You have a contending team now and for the foreseeable future. So you worry about that when the time comes. And you'd have it protected to where, if you are bad that year, at least you get that pick. So, to me, that would be a no-brainer. I think that would solve all of your needs if you're the Lakers. But, again, does Indiana do that? Is Indiana willing to wait on Buddy Hield? Or do they just take the first, half reasonable offer? Because you got to keep in mind, they're gonna go into training camp. Are they going to want Buddy Hield on the roster come training camp? Again, it's not a big deal, right? But if you're really good, I don't think they're going to be contending good, but they were looking really good at points last year. What if they actually are pretty good this year and things are clicking and things are going well for them and Buddy Hield is a big part of that? At that point now it's do you even trade him? Do you try to ride it out this year? Or do you look at it as we're not winning a chip either way, right? And we could now trade with the Lakers. Yeah, we lose Myles Turner. We're going to lose him eventually anyway. We trade Buddy Hield, and now we got, Tyrese Halliburton, D'Angelo Russell, you got Obi Toppin, Rui Hachimura, and then whichever center you want to go with, right? I think that would be a win-win for both sides. But those are my thoughts and opinions, and as always, I pass a question on to you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Agree with me, disagree with me, somewhere in between. However you feel, let me know down in the comments.